recording. So stored procedure is nothing but a saved SQL query. So obviously we are writing some select statements or updates in sets. So everything is saved in stored procedure. So first point satisfied. If anyone asks you like what is stored procedure, you need to tell these 5 points. So stored procedure is nothing but a saved SQL query. So it is satisfied, right? In select statement, inserts, updates, we're saving in stored procedure, correct. And it accepts both input and output parameters. We are passing the parameters, right? That is nothing but this one. And we can do DML operations. What are DML operations? Insert, update, delete, select. This all we can do it in stored procedure. So it also satisfied. Stored procedure may or may not return a value. Means in select statements, it return a value. But in inserts, while you perform any insert, update, delete, outcome it will not return anything. Just simply it will insert the data, right? It may not return a data. That is insert, update, delete. But select, it will return the data. So that's the reason we mentioned stored procedure may or may not return a value. And we can call function in stored procedure. Now I am explaining the topic of function. So this functions we can call it in procedure as well. Okay, up to here clear, right? Now today's topic is functions. So what is a function? Like a function nature is it must return a value and it accepts only input parameter. We cannot call function in stored procedure. I mean, we cannot call stored procedure in function. Okay. Usually we have functions, different types of functions. We have like a system defined functions. Earlier we had a discussion like a system defined function. So where is that? Yes, programmability functions and system functions. These are what are those aggregated functions? Date and time functions, string functions. These are the system defined functions. Means these are the predefined functions like a get date, this date time, date add, date diff, date name. All this comes under like system defined functions. Clear? These aggregate functions, mathematical functions, string functions like replace, stuff, row. All these are the system defined functions. We have other functions as well. Those are user defined functions. In user defined functions, we have three different types. What are those? Scalar function, table valued function, multi-statement function. These three are the three different types of user defined functions. So what it will do? Initially, like a function nature is must return a value and it accepts only input parameter. That is the function nature. What is function nature? Function nature is must return a value. For example, this is one function, right? This is system defined function. Obviously, it is a function only. So while executing this, what it shows, it must return a value, right? Hmm? Any function must return a value. A value means one value it will return. Function must return a value. So this function return a value and it accepts only input parameter. We need to pass the parameter like this is the function. We are passing the two input parameters, 1 and 2. See, again it will return the a value, only one value. Function accepts input parameters and return a value. So that is the use of the function. Okay. Function nature it is like a function nature is it must return a value. It accepts only input parameters. That is a function. So all these are the system defined functions. Now we're discussing about the user defined functions. So we only need to create the function. We have three different types of functions. What are those? Scalar function, table valued function, multi-statement function. So let's discuss about the scalar function. So now if I pass my first name, last name, I need the result set as a full name. Usually we have in employee table, we have like a first name, last name, right? And middle name. But I need to show up the data like a full name. not individually. For this case, I need to create a one function. So what is the syntax for that? Create function, function name in brackets at the rate of first name varchar at the rate of last name varchar and returns varchar only. So our two input parameters are varchar varchar only and returns only one value, right? So what is my main intention to create this one? I need to pass two parameters. What are those? First name and last name. What I am expecting as the output, I need the full name as the output. Here I am passing two input parameters, first name and last name. What is my expectation? The output should be the full name, right? So same thing I am implementing here. Create function, I am giving the function name in brackets at the rate of first name. So name, obviously it is a varchar only. And last name, again it is a varchar, brackets. And returns, so output should be in which format? Output should be written a value only, right? That should be written in varchar format. So returns varchar as begin end. So return. So here we need to implement the logic. So select concat. This is one function to combine the two strings. So concat first name comma, I will give space here last name. So how the concatenate will work? So I will show it here. Here I return Vijay Kumar. So concat, this is one parameter, this is second parameter. Here I keep it as a space. When you execute this, see, I pass two parameters, Vijay Kumar. Middle I got the space, right? That is the thing, Vijay Kumar space. So concatenate will combine the two strings with the this one. Here if you mention any hyphen, it will give hyphen. See, like that we need to work. But I need space, first name space, last name. This is the function. This is the actual syntax for to create a function. First, I will show the syntax like create function, function name, column 1, data type 1, data type 2, select statement. This is the function. If you create any function, this is the scalar function. That too, this is the common syntax for all. Here also, we need to confirm which data type we need to return. Sometimes both should be integer. Our value also need to return integer only. So I can mention int here. Sometimes these two are the date. I need the value as a date only. So returns date. So this is the scalar function syntax. So I implemented like this: create function, function name. In brackets, I use the two input parameters and return varchar as begin and return a value, right? So it will use this functionality and return a value that will return. This already exists, so I will use like this. Now see here, I'm passing like a procedure. How we will do? I will use like this name and I will pass the parameters. But function we can use in select like this. Select function name or parameters. Harish B. So executed. See, Harish space B. Here like a Vijay Kumar. See, Vijay space Kumar. Like that function will work. This function we can use in stored procedure as well. Okay. Is it clear? Any questions on scalar function? Similarly, I
No,
can
sir.
go for the other example with same. So create function, function name. Here, my case is I will pass the employee ID as input parameter. I will pass the employee ID as input parameter. My output should return email. When I pass employee ID, I will get the employee email. So that is the function I am going to create. See, alter create function function name in brackets. What is my input parameter? Employee ID. So employee ID, that is in integer format. Employee ID is in int format, like one at one, like that, right? So int format. But return, I am getting the email. Email is in varchar format. So that is the reason I mentioned here varchar as begin and in return. So I will implement the logic here. Select email from employee table. Only I will get the email only, where ID equal to employee ID. So I will create the this one. Now I will see select star from this table name. I will run. This table not exist. Employee table is there. So I will use employee here, and ID already is there. I need to know the name. When I pass the employee ID, I need to show the name. Okay. When I pass 6, when I pass 5 as employee ID, I will get the Vijay. When I pass 1, it will return Sunny. Let's see here. I am passing 5, so it will return Vijay. See, when I pass 1, it will return Sunny name. See, like that we need to create the functions. That to scalar function. We can call the function like this. Select function name. Here in brackets we can pass the input parameter. Okay. See, here in this table, we have employee details ID, employee ID, and salary. But I need the name as well. Okay, name is existing employee table, right? Select star from employee. Forgot about this salary. So here, just have using this table. So select star from employee details means I will get the these details. I need the name as well. So I will use this function. I will pass the employee ID and I will get the names. See, 1 means Sunny, 5 means Vijay. In employee table, we don't have 3, 2, 7. So that is the reason it shows null. Like that, in select statement, we use the function, scalar function here like this. Usually when you write select star from this table, we got these results set, like these 3 columns. So you use function here. You can give it a name as a email. You can give name as a name. When you execute this, see, you got the name as well. So this function, this employee ID you're passing here. This employee ID passing here. So it will return the names like this. Like that, we can use the scalar function. Now I'm moving to table valid function. Total, there are three types of functions, right? First one is scalar function, second one is table valid function, third one is inline multi-statement function. So I explained the scalar function. Now the second one is table valid function. What is the syntax for table valid function? Create function, function name, column 1, data type 1. So there is no limitation, we can create any. Returns table as return statement. So scalar function here it will take the input parameters column 1 and data type, column 2 and data type, and they will ask like returns. It returns a varchar only, right? It returns a value. It might be a return a date time. It might be a return a varchar. It might be return a date or whatever it may be as per our thing. But table valid function, the name itself says it is a table valid function. It will return the result set as a tabular format. So that's the reason we mention here as a table, returns table. It will return the table as written in bracket statement. So here simply what I will write, already we have a table. What table we have? Employee table is there. Select star from employee where ID equal to EMP ID. So I am passing the employee ID as the input parameter. So going to here and it will fetch the result set and return. So this object is not exist. So create or alter. So created. So how I can use this? So scalar function, we can use it in select statement like this. Select a function name, we can pass the parameter in scalar function, usually like this, right? Here, like this, we can write the scalar function. But this is table valid function, right? So this one we can use like select star from. Here we need to mention the function name. Function, I will pass the one as a input parameter. See, it will return all the details of the one name, salary, gender, department type, date of birth, right? Like that, table wide function will work. See, so like this, we can create the table wide function. Same like scalar function, we can pass the input parameter, but there we need to return only one value, right? So that is the reason there we need to mention the data type. But here it will return the table. So we need to write the table as written. So here there simply we can pass the function like concatenate, like anything. We'll fetch only one value. But here I need all the details. So I will keep the star. If you need any specific like name, salary, these two only I required. So you can keep like this only instead of star. When you run this one, it will show only these two, name, salary only. So based on our requirement, we can write the statement like this. Hmm? This is table valid function. Is it clear? And table valid function, we can join with normal tables as well. So this is the table add function, right? So I can give as a alias name inner join department ID. Department ID equal to a dot dept ID. So here, like we have two tables, right? It will return the department ID. So we can use like this. Is it clear? Any questions? UI, is it clear? Rajat, Srileka? Hello?
Clear, sir.
Okay, practice these two functions today, and tomorrow I will explain the multi-statement function, and I will go with views tomorrow. Tomorrow I will explain the views and multi-statement function. In scalar function, we have three types, right?